He charged me 50 cents for tap water like I was nothing. 3 months later, federal agents were kicking down my door because of him. The notification lit up my phone screen at 8 a.m., bright and obnoxious against the gray morning light filtering through my bedroom curtains. I was still half asleep, groggy from a restless night of overthinking, but the chime of the Venmo app was unmistakable. It's usually a sound I associate with friends splitting pizza or paying me back for concert tickets. But this time it felt wrong. I picked up the phone, squinting at the screen, my thumb hovering over the unlock button. New request, $3.47 from Alex. I blinked. $3.47? I tapped the notification. The note attached to the request made my blood run cold. For your half of the appetizer and the prorated cost of the gas I used to drive to the restaurant. Also included, 50 cents for the tap water, ice cost. I sat up in bed, staring at the words until they blurred. Ice cost? Prorated gas? Alex. The guy I went on a first date with last night. The guy who insisted, literally insisted, on paying the $40 bill at the burger joint. He had pulled out a crisp $50 bill from a leather wallet, waved away my credit card, and smiled that calm, controlled smile that I had mistaken for maturity. I prefer cash, he had said, smooth as silk. My banking apps are always getting flagged for fraud protection. It's a hassle. Cash is king, right? I had nodded, thinking he was just old-fashioned. Responsible. Safe. Now, looking at this request, he just seemed petty. Cheap. Who charges a date for tap water? I felt a flash of irritation, a hot prickle on the back of my neck. I wanted to decline it. I wanted to text him and ask if he was joking. But then I looked at the amount again. $3. It was nothing. It was the price of a bad coffee. If I paid it, I could delete his number. I could wash my hands of the weirdness and move on. I hit pay. Sent. I blocked his number immediately after. Or at least, I tried to. But before I could hit the button, a text came through. Alex, hey, sorry about that request. I know it looks weird. My finances are just complicated right now. Stressful week. I didn't mean to be petty. Can I make it up to you? Dinner next week? My treat. For real this time. I hesitated. The apology seemed genuine. And he was polite last night. Maybe he was just broke. Maybe he was struggling and too proud to admit it. I'm an idiot, I whispered to myself. I typed back, it's okay. We all have bad weeks. That was the mistake. That was the crack in the door he needed. We went out again the next Wednesday. He picked me up in a nondescript sedan that smelled like pine air freshener. He was charming. He asked about my job, my family, my dreams. He listened. He didn't check his phone once. When the bill came, he paid cash again. $200 this time. We went to a nice steakhouse. Hey, he said as we walked to the car, pulling a thick envelope out of his jacket pocket. I have a weird favor to ask. Remember how I said my apps are locked? Yeah. I need to send some money to a friend. For rent. He covered me last month. But I can't use my Zelle. Can I give you the cash, and you send it for me? He held out the envelope. It was open. Inside were 10 $20 bills. 200, he said. Count it. I looked at the cash. I looked at him. His eyes were wide, trusting. It's just rent, he shrugged. I'd do it myself, but the bank is investigating a breach on my account and they froze everything digital. It takes weeks to clear. It made sense. Banks are annoying. And he was handing me the cash first. There was no risk to me. If I sent the money and the cash was fake, I'd know instantly. But the bills looked real. They felt real. Sure, I said. What's the handle? He showed me a screenshot on his phone. Verify_rent_payment_22. I opened Venmo. I typed it in. I sent the $200. Thanks, Masha, he smiled, squeezing my shoulder. You're a lifesaver. Seriously. That was the beginning. Over the next 3 months, it became a ritual. We'd go out. He'd pay cash. Then he'd ask for a favor. My cousin needs cash for groceries, $150. My coworker bought tickets for us, $300. I owe my landlord for utilities, $400. Always cash in my hand first. Always a different Venmo or Cash App handle. Always a plausible, mundane reason. I never questioned it. Why would I? I wasn't losing money. I was just converting it. I was a human ATM, but one that didn't charge fees. I thought I was being a good girlfriend. I thought I was building trust. I didn't know I was building a prison. The knock came on a Tuesday evening in May. 7 p.m. I was making pasta, singing along to a playlist, waiting for Alex to come over. Knock. 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 It was heavy. Authoritative. I wiped my hands on a towel and walked to the door. I checked the peephole. 2 men. Suits. Badges on their belts. My stomach dropped. I opened the door a crack. Masha Stone, the older one asked. He had gray hair and eyes that looked like they had seen everything and were impressed by none of it. Yes? I'm Detective Miller. This is Agent Saras from the Bureau. May we come in? The Bureau? I stammered. Like, the FBI? We'd like to ask you some questions about your financial activity, Miller said, pushing the door gently but firmly until it was wide open. Specifically regarding a series of transfers from your Venmo and Cash App accounts totaling $12,000 over the last 90 days. 12,000. I stepped back. The number hung in the air like smoke. I don't know what you're talking about, I lied. Or maybe I didn't lie. I didn't realize it was that much. They walked into my living room. They didn't sit. They stood, looming over my coffee table. Miss Stone, Agent Saras said, pulling a tablet from her bag. We have flagged multiple transactions from your device to accounts linked to a known criminal enterprise involving the distribution of illegal firearms and narcotics. Firearms. Narcotics. The room spun. I grabbed the back of the sofa to steady myself. No, I whispered. That's impossible. I helped my boyfriend pay rent. And his friends. Your boyfriend? Miller raised an eyebrow. What's his name? Alex, I said. Alex, well, he never told me his last name. He said he hates labels. But I have his number. Miller looked at Saras. They exchanged a look. It wasn't a look of surprise. It was a look of confirmation. Does Alex pay in cash? Miller asked. Yes, I nodded frantically. He gives me cash. I Venmo it. His accounts are locked. Fraud protection. Fraud protection, Saras repeated, her voice dry. Miss Stone, Alex doesn't have accounts to lock. Because Alex doesn't exist. She turned the tablet toward me. There was a photo. It was a mugshot. It was him. Same eyes. Same jawline. But his hair was shorter. And the name under the photo wasn't Alex. Suspect, Julian Vane. Wanted for money laundering, racketeering, wire fraud. Julian Vane has been under surveillance for 18 months, Miller said. He moves money for gangs. He cleans cash. He takes dirty street money, drug money, gun money, and he hands it to people like you. Clean civilians with clean bank accounts. You digitize it. You send it to the friends, who are actually shell accounts controlled by the syndicate. You wash it for him. I felt the bile rise in my throat. I ran to the kitchen sink and dry heaved. I wasn't a girlfriend. I was a laundromat. I didn't know, I sobbed, gripping the cold porcelain of the sink. I swear I didn't know. He was just nice. He bought me dinner. We believe you, Sarah said, walking into the kitchen. Her voice was softer now. You fit the profile. Single. Trusting. No criminal record. He targets women like you. He uses you as a shield. If we track the money, it leads to you, not him. You take the fall. He walks away. Am I going to jail? I asked, tears streaming down my face. That depends, Miller said from the doorway. On how much you want to help us catch him. I looked at them. I looked at the pasta boiling over on the stove. I looked at the phone on the counter, the phone he texted me on every morning with a "Good morning, beautiful." What do I have to do? I asked. We need him in person, Miller said. We need to catch him in the act of handing you cash and directing a transfer. We need it on video. We need audio. We need him to implicate himself. He's coming over tonight, I said. Cancel it, Sarah said instantly. Too dangerous. We aren't ready. Tell him you're sick. Tell him you're contagious. Buy us time. I picked up my phone. My hands were shaking so bad I almost dropped it. Hey, I think I have food poisoning. Can't do tonight. Sorry. His reply came in 10 seconds. Alex, oh no. Feel better, babe. Let me know if you need anything. I'll drop off some soup tomorrow. He's persistent, Miller muttered, reading over my shoulder. Okay. Here is the plan. Friday. Dinner. Public place. We wire you up. The next 3 days were a blur of terror. I stayed in my apartment. I didn't go to work. I stared at the walls and replayed every conversation, every date, every favor. Friday came. I met the agents in a van parked 3 blocks from the restaurant. They taped a wire to my chest, under my bra. They put a tiny camera in my purse button. Act normal, Sarah said, adjusting the earpiece in my ear. Talk about your day. Let him bring up the money. Don't force it. And if he runs? I asked. He won't get far, Miller patted his holster. We have the perimeter locked down. Just stay calm. You are the bait. He needs you. I walked into the restaurant. The Golden Oak. Upscale. Quiet. He was already there. Sitting at a booth in the back. Wearing a navy suit. He looked handsome. He looked safe. I sat down. He kissed my cheek. His lips felt like ice. You look better, he smiled. Recovered? Yeah, I lied. Just a 24-hour bug. We ordered wine. We ordered steaks. We talked about the weather. 20 minutes passed. He hadn't brought it up. My heart was pounding against the wire. Thump. Thump. Finally, the check came. He reached into his pocket. He pulled out the cash. A thick stack. I got it, he said. He put the cash on the table. Then he pulled out another envelope. Thicker this time. Actually, he lowered his voice, leaning in. Since I didn't see you earlier. I have a bit of a backlog. My cousin needs help with his tuition. It's a big one. 500. He slid the envelope across the tablecloth. Can you handle that for me? He asked. His eyes locked on mine. Same deal. Cash is yours. Just sell it. 500? I asked, my voice trembling slightly. That's a lot, Alex. I know, he sighed. But family is family, right? You know I'm good for it. He touched my hand. His skin was warm. Who is it going to? I asked. This was the question Miller told me to ask. Just a guy, he waved his hand. Account name is tuition_fund_99. You've sent to him before, I think. Okay, I said. I picked up the envelope. I'll do it. You're the best, he grinned. Seriously. I don't know what I'd do without you. That's the signal, a voice said in my ear. I looked at Alex. I looked at the man who had turned my life into a felony investigation. Alex, I said. Yeah? Is your name Julian? His smile froze. It didn't fade. It just stopped. His eyes went dead. What? He whispered. Julian Vane, I said. He stood up. Fast. The table shook. The wine glasses rattled. Who told you that name? He hissed. We did, Miller said. Alex, Julian, spun around. Miller was standing right behind him. 2 other agents were blocking the aisle. Uniformed officers were coming through the kitchen door. Julian looked at the exit. He looked at me. He didn't run. He knew. He calculated the odds in a split second and realized they were 0. He sat back down. He picked up his wine glass. He took a sip. Well played, Masha, he said. Well played. Stand up, Miller ordered. Hands on the table. They cuffed him right there. The restaurant went silent. People stared. I sat there, clutching my purse, watching them drag him away. He didn't look back. I went to the station for debriefing. Sarah sat with me. She showed me a diagram on a whiteboard. It wasn't just you, she said. She drew 4 circles. You. A girl in Chicago. A girl in Miami. A girl in Dallas. 4? I asked. He had a rotation, she explained. He flew between cities. He ran the same scam on all of you. Different financial apps. Different excuses. But the same pattern. Love bombing. Cash payments. Small favors that grew. Did they know? No. They thought they were the only one. Just like you. How much? I asked. Total? Sarah's looked at her notes. Over $2 million in the last year. You handled about 50,000. 50,000. I felt dizzy. You stopped him, Sarah said. He was scaling up. The 500 tonight? That was a test. He was planning to ask you to move 10,000 next week. For a down payment on a house, for us. A house, I whispered. He told me he wanted to move in together. That was the hook, she said. The final hook before the big cash out. And then he would have disappeared. I walked out of the station at 3 a.m. The city was quiet. I went home. I deleted Venmo. I deleted Cash App. I deleted Zelle. I sat on my floor and looked at the empty space where he used to sit. He relied on trust. He weaponized intimacy. He turned love into a transaction fee. I'm still single. I don't think I can date for a long time. Every time a guy offers to pay cash, I flinch. But I kept the receipt from that first date. The one for $3.47. I framed it. It hangs by my door. A reminder. If someone charges you for water, they're eventually going to charge you for air. And the cost of admission to a lie is always, always higher than the price of the ticket. So, tell me. Am I the monster for wearing a wire and sending my boyfriend to federal prison, or did he just finally pay the bill he owed society?
If you have made it this far and want to see more videos like this, then kindly subscribe and turn on notifications so you may never miss another story like this.